If thoughts of a specific person, one who chose someone else, have been circling your mind, pause here. This might be the clarity you've been seeking. Please take just one comfortable breath, in and out. You found this video, or perhaps it found you, at this exact moment for a reason. That persistent, quiet feeling drawing you here is not random. It's a signal. Maybe you've been noticing their memory surfacing in quiet moments, or a mix of unresolved emotion you can't quite name. This isn't about fear or false hope. It's about understanding a profound psychological shift happening now far beneath the surface of what you were told. The fact they were with another person is known, but the message forming in their consciousness about you is something entirely different. Part 1. The unspoken truth. Your mind already knows. Your intuition has been your quiet guide all along. You sensed the dissonance even in their final explanations, in the forced normalcy, or in the abrupt silence that followed. Something felt incomplete. You noticed the subtle shifts in energy, the conversations that lacked their former depth, the emotional distance that seemed to grow from a place of avoidance, not absence. This was not your imagination. Psychology tells us our subconscious picks up on micro signals long before our conscious mind catches up. They did not disconnect because their feelings for you vanished. They pulled away because the intensity of that connection became a mirror, reflecting parts of themselves they weren't prepared to confront. Their involvement with another person was never a replacement. Think of it as a detour, a path they chose believing it would be simpler, less demanding of their emotional courage. But here is the realization dawning on them. You were not left behind. You were set aside. And that act of setting you aside created a silent rift within them they are now forced to address. Part 2. The psychology behind their choice. This is crucial for your perspective. Their decision to be with someone else likely stemmed less from desire and more from a specific fear. Fear of the vulnerability your connection required. Fear of the transformative potential it held. What they shared with you felt real and therefore unsafe to a part of them that sought control. The other relationship may have presented itself as comfortable, less emotionally taxing, a space that demanded less growth. But the human mind is wired for authentic connection. Despite their efforts, comparisons became inevitable. They measured laughter, ease, depth of conversation, and the quality of silence. And in each unconscious comparison, your echo remained. They are arriving at an uncomfortable truth. The bond they had with you possesses a unique resonance that cannot be replicated elsewhere. A connection built on truth, however challenging, leaves a permanent imprint. Part 3. The quiet burden they carry. Do not mistake their silence for peace. There is a weight they now carry, often felt in the stillness of night. It is the weight of cognitive dissonance, knowing one thing and doing another. Guilt for the confusion they caused. Guilt for prioritizing comfort over courage. Guilt for hurting someone who offered genuine understanding. Their mind replays moments, your words now gaining new meaning in hindsight. The hardest part? They know with increasing clarity that you did not deserve the ambiguity. This guilt isn't dramatic. It's a constant, low-frequency hum beneath their daily life, a reminder that actions misaligned with inner truth create internal conflict. Part 4. Why words failed them. Then, you may ask if they felt this, why was there no explanation? The answer lies in emotional capacity, not a lack of care. They were immobilized by their own internal conflict. To speak the truth would have meant facing the full force of the emotions they were fleeing from. They feared their own vulnerability. They also perhaps feared your perception, your ability to see right through to the core of things. They sensed that an honest conversation with you would be a point of no return, demanding accountability they felt unequipped to handle. So they chose the silence they believed was simpler. Part 5. The internal shift happening now. Something has changed. Not necessarily an external event, but an internal culmination. The comfort they sought has revealed its own emptiness. They may feel emotionally unfulfilled, unseen, or disconnected in their current dynamic. And in that void, your memory isn't just a memory. It returns as a felt sense of what was real. They are confronting the fact that what they walked away from wasn't chaos. It was authenticity. And authenticity, once experienced, becomes a measuring stick for everything else. Part 6. The message taking shape. If they could speak freely, without the filters of pride or fear, the essence of their message would be this: I convinced myself a different path would be easier. I was wrong. Leaving didn't feel like moving on. It felt like leaving a part of myself behind. I understand the pain my indecision caused. Please know it was never about your worth, which is undeniable. It was about my fear of the depth you mirrored in me. I see that now. These words may not have been spoken aloud, but they are forming with increasing pressure in their psyche. Part 7. Why this emerges now. Timing is psychological. This clarity is reaching you now because you have changed. Your growth has silently shifted the entire dynamic. You are no longer anchored in the same space of waiting or self-doubt. By stepping into your own strength and valuing your peace, you have fundamentally altered the energy of this connection. They can sense, perhaps unconsciously, that the door of your patience is closing. Your emotional independence acts as a magnet for truth. They are now facing the potential finality of their choice, and that is a powerful motivator for internal honesty. Part 8. The core realization that might surprise you. Here is what might be most startling. Their regret isn't just about losing you. It's about losing the version of themselves they were when they were with you, or the person they could have become. They are questioning the character of the self that walked away from something real. This confrontation with their own values is a profound, if uncomfortable, catalyst for personal growth. Losing you didn't just create sadness. It initiated a necessary crisis of identity. Part 9. What this means for your path forward. This understanding is not a directive to wait or to forgive. It is a tool for your closure. You were not abandoned due to any deficiency. You were distanced from because you reflected a level of emotional truth they were not psychologically ready to meet. That is a powerful reflection of your capacity, not your lack. Whether this person re-enters your life or not, you move forward with this unshakable knowledge. You are capable of connections that are real and transformative. That truth alone is your foundation. Part 10. A final note for your journey. Take another breath. Honor any feeling that arises. You are not wrong for having loved deeply or hoped sincerely. That depth is your strength. If they reach out, you will respond from a place of empowered choice, not need. And if they do not, you will continue moving forward, your understanding enriched, your heart wiser. True clarity was always your right, not a prize to be won. Thank you for watching Psychology Wisdom. If this insight resonated, please show your support with a like. It helps us reach others seeking understanding. And subscribe to Psychology Wisdom for more explorations into the heart and mind.